Is the concept of imaginary friends an African thing? Because growing up, I never had an imaginary friend, and I don't imagine there's an African somewhere that has an imaginary friend. But I can't speak for everyone. You watching this video now, did you ever have imaginary friends? Did you? Comment below, let me know if you did. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I want to talk about If. If stands for imaginary friend. The film is a film by John Krasinski of The Office and A Quiet Place. And this movie follows the story of a teenage girl that can see people's imaginary friends and how she tries to reunite these imaginary friends with the friends that they lost. That's what this film is about. And when I saw the trailer of this film, I was actually excited to see it because it feels like a concept that has potential. I don't think I've seen something like this before. Maybe I have, but I can't remember. But it's something that has potential. I mean, imagine a girl that can see people's imaginary friends and trying to reunite these friends with the friends that they lost. Like, I don't know about you, but that excited me and I was eager to see it. And honestly, I feel like this film fell flat on what it should have delivered because this story had so many potentials. That's a lot of potential, and it just feels like they did not explore the concepts of this film as well as they should have. And so something that honestly let me down. Another thing I found is that there was a lot of things happening with this film, a lot of things happening with different characters in this film, and I felt like it was just pulling the story in so many directions. And that was one of the things that hurt it, in my opinion, because I feel like if the film had been streamlined, focused on one thing, it would have been a much more better film. And honestly, I would have been so good with it. But it just felt like they were being pulled in so many directions and just lost me. Me saying the film lost me doesn't mean that there wasn't anything I liked with the film. There are some things I liked with it. The performances, for instance, performances from this little girl, what's her name? Kaylee Fleming. I don't think I've seen her in a film before, but seeing her in this film, wow, it was amazing. She delivered a fantastic performance. It was like she was the art of this film. She carried this, maybe not necessarily carried it, but she was the art of this film. And her performances in some places were emotional, some places were poignant, and she just delivers all those things brilliantly. And honestly, I think she's one of the standout performances in this film. This film also stars Ryan Reynolds, and if you see Ryan Reynolds in the film, there's something you expect. Ryan Reynolds' roles in films is kind of like his role in Deadpool. He's always a fast-talking person, always cracking jokes left and right. And when you see a film starring Ryan Reynolds, you kind of expect to see him do that. But in this film, he wasn't doing that. Even though his character was supposed to be a clown, he didn't crack a lot of jokes, and that was very surprising. I mean, I'm not condemning it. I like that we can see Ryan Reynolds play a character that's not as similar to all the other characters that he plays, and just delivers a very good performance alongside Kaylee Fleming. And yes, I really enjoyed watching Ryan Reynolds in this film. I don't know, maybe if he had been cracking a lot of jokes, it should have made me enjoy the film more. I can't say, but I loved what he brought to the story. Speaking of characters and speaking of performances, John Krasinski also starred in this film. And John Krasinski's performance felt like the kind of performance that Ryan Reynolds always plays. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, he expects, like I said, he expects Ryan Reynolds to play a kind of character. But that character they expect Ryan Reynolds to play, he doesn't play it. John Krasinski plays that kind of character. And it was just maybe a delight. Well, why I'm not so blown away by the performances, because I feel like John Krasinski's character didn't have much to add to the story. I mean, we need to know the girl as a father, and the father is going through some things, yes. But I feel like the storyline surrounding the father could have easily been cut out, and the story will still stand on its own, and you still enjoy what you got. While I was watching this film and seeing the things that were playing out, a thought came to mind that did John Krasinski make this film for his kids? Because it had a way that it was going, and it felt like it was just trying to do something for his kids and show the whole world. Basically, that's how it felt like. Then I found out later after I finished watching the film that he actually made this film for his kids, and it just made a lot of sense because of how things were playing out. I don't want to give spoilers, but the way things played out, and it just felt like, yes, I think this guy has told his children a lot of stories. He just wants to bring one of those stories onto the big screen, and I can't blame him for doing that. But I wish the story had been a much more compelling story. Among the things that I liked was the soundtrack used in this film. Wow, the soundtrack was so good. Like, wow. Anytime I hear them playing this particular song, there's like a central song that they play a lot of times. Anytime I heard that song, I was like, yo, this thing is making my heart ache, but in a good way. And it was just a beautiful soundtrack to listen to. And every time I heard that soundtrack, it was just something that filled me up with so much joy. And yeah, whoever designed that soundtrack just did a fantastic job. And I feel like that soundtrack also captured the essence of the world. And it was just done in a very brilliant way. That soundtrack was unique. And this film was a very emotional film. Like, when you see this film on the outskirts, or if you see the trailer, you think it's like a comedy. Yes, it has comedic moments, but it doesn't focus on the comedy of it. It's much more emotional. And some poignant things just happen in this film, just make me feel like, whew, wow. that hits hard. It was just something that was unexpected and honestly a delight to witness. I just wish that the story had more depth, the characters had more depth to just surround all these other elements that came together in it. Because, like I said, this story had so much potential. It had like so much potential. So many things could come right to this film, but it just felt like the writing fell short of it and just betrayed the story for me. Another thing I liked with this story was the voice performances. The voice performances in this film were, how should I put it? I'm thinking of the right word, but there was just something to the voice performances that filled my heart with joy because one, it was kind of fun for me listening to the voices and trying to detect who is this person playing this character. It was not easy to do that because those performances or those actors, they felt like the character, their voice was able to portray that character without feeling like their actual self. And that's something that was just done brilliantly. And all the voice cast, they did a fantastic job. People like Steve Carell, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Matt Damon, Bradley Cooper, George Clooney, all those guys delivered fantastic performances, even though their characters did not have so much screen time. But every time you saw them and hearing their voice, it just added so much life to the characters that they were voicing. And honestly, that was one part of this film that I really, really enjoyed watching. And lastly, this is not really a big point or anything, but I feel like it's something that I have to commend because I keep saying I did not enjoy the movie, but there was something that still felt good to me that I liked seeing. And that's the way they blended the animation with the live action. It felt so realistic. It felt like these things really existed in this world together. And that just goes to show how good the CGI is. It was just visually delightful, and seeing all those characters and the way they were designed was just something that I loved so much. And that's another reason why I feel like the story just betrayed the film. Because like I said, there was so much potential with this story, so many directions that the story could have taken that would have given you a fantastic film, but it did not do that. And it was just like all the elements surrounding it were just a waste. And it's just so painful for me to say that. So have you guys seen If, aka Imaginary Friend? What do you think about it? Comment below and let me know. I think my energy feels a little low today. I can feel that my energy is low, and it's because I'm feeling a little under the weather. So pardon me if this video is not as hyper as you're expecting, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.